Hi, I'm Paul from Test Data Services, and I'm now going to step through the second part of the emails. So this is more like a real-world email scenario. It's not just simply sending an email and catching an email. I'm actually going to show you how to automate the components of your test that can even do two-way interactions with the users in your population of test users. So the first thing I'm going to do, like with most of the other videos, I'm going to create a temporary subscription key so that everything that's keyed off of a subscription key will have a brand new one, hasn't been used before, and it keeps everything isolated. Now I'm going to fetch a random identity, and this particular identity is Katrina Cumberland. This is going to be the sender of emails for what it's worth. I don't really have to specify sender. It'll put a default sender in with these calls, but these ones will come from Katrina. Now I'm going to use four recipient email addresses. So the first one is Shauna, second is Erin, third or C is Derek, and fourth, D, is Austin. All right, now I'm going to clear out emails for that first person, that A person, and now I'm going to generate an email for that person, and I'm going to generate a second email for that person. Now, just to show you that these are real, if I change the send address in here to info@testdataservices.com.au, and I hit send, and maybe I'll do another one. Now these are emails that will come through to my desktop, so in a moment we'll actually see them come through. While we're waiting, I can count the emails. There should be 2 received so far for person A, and it's been 42 seconds since I cleared the email address. So one of the things we need to do when we're dealing with emails is we need to, when we start, clear out any, and that's set to timer to 0. It sets up subscription details, and it makes sure there's no old records there. Here we go. Katrina and Katrina again. So we got 2 from Katrina because I sent the same thing twice, and you can see here this is a short message about your recent transaction for order number 41615. And I've got here the message subject is second message for A46D. If we go back and have a look at that, generate email 2, we can see it was for A46D. So you can see it's the correct message. So these are real emails. They're getting sent through the real system. Now, when we do a send email, though, or generate, it's called send here, this is limited. So when you have a subscription, you have to have a special subscription that allows you to send emails, because I don't want this used obviously for spamming and other nuisance. So if you want to use the send email, you have to add something special to the subscription so that your subscription key is authorized for a particular destination email. I've set mine up so it will work for info@testdataservices.com.au. And the use case for send mail is, let's imagine you've got a online support system, and people email in their support issues, and you need to test that. You can actually get your destination email address whitelisted, and you can generate with this call emails into that whitelisted email address on your system, in your test environment, from any of the 2.5 million identities in this system. Then your system under test can do whatever it needs to do, and it can actually then generate messages that go back to those identities, and you can actually have a two-way interaction. So you can have a real two-way interaction with a population of test users. I think that is really a great thing to be able to add to your testing. So we've generated our 2 emails, and I've counted them. I'll count them again. It's now 2 messages received still. We've popped none of them, and it's been 202 seconds since we did that. If I now pop the first message, we can see that's the message, and it was inbound 5.4 seconds after I clicked the clear, because that's what that timer is for. If I pop the second one, we can see that was 10 seconds later. So there was a 6-second gap between those two. You could check by rewinding the video and see if there was a 6-second gap. Now, if I do a third pop, it's not going to work because there was only 2 messages. Now I'm going to clear, like reset if you like, all 4 of these email addresses. Oops, I didn't do D. There we go. And now I'm going to do what's, I think, the most powerful email feature of this tool. You can subscribe to a set of emails. So I'm subscribing to person B, person C, person D, and now I'm going to generate an email for person B. I'm going to generate an email for person C, and I'm going to generate 3 emails for person D. 1, 2, 3. And now I can count them. Now, they won't be all there yet. 4, 4, 5. So now we have 5 messages, which is what we're expecting because we sent 5. So that set of email addresses, so in this case, we subscribed to B, C, and D. Any emails inbound to those 3 addresses from the domain email testdata.email will be caught and have here been counted, and now I can pop them. So in this case, I'm going to pop the first one, and this tells me that the serial number is 1. The message is in here. We can see that it was sent to Aaron Gupta, and it was from Katrina Cumberland, and it's got the text with the order number in it. And I'm actually checking in this Postman that the order number is matching and is as it's supposed to be. Now I can count now that subscribed set, and I can see I still have 5, but I've popped 1. Now popping them is quite useful because it means I can step through in sequence the emails that were inbound to that subscribed set of email addresses. But if I want to break that sequence and not do it in order, I can do this pop random subscribed email. And in this case, it fetched me the first one. Notice here it says message retrieved true. That means I've already exposed this message. If I hit send again, this time I got serial number of 4 and false for the message received, which means that I hadn't seen this one before. I'll do it again. Serial number 1, which we've had before, serial number 5, and so on. So you can see that we are randomly fetching any of those 5, and if we've received the message, it'll be true here. So in your test script, you can check this JSON response, and you may choose to have different handling if you've already seen this message or not. I'm going to generate a 4th email for person D, and I'm going to pop subscribed email. So this is number 2 now. This is back into sequence. 3. Oops. If I reset. Now if I reset, I'm putting that count for popping back to 0, which means now if I pop, we've got serial number of 1. If I clear, it will tell me how many messages have been cleared. There were 6. And now if I pop, there's none. There will be none there. If I generate one more and I count, it'll take a few seconds to come through. But when it comes through, we'll see the message count number has gone to 1, and then I can pop it because it's there. So I think that I've given you a quick run through of some of the powerful API calls that you can make to simplify the automation of your email interactions with a population of test identities. In most tests previously, in test automation, it's been very difficult to include emails. But if they have been included, they're often only included one way, like sending from your system out to an email address and checking that it's arrived. But in this set up with these API calls. You can do a two-way interaction. You can actually have a conversation between random or specific users in the identity set that you're using in your system under test. I hope you find this useful and will enjoy the next video. Thanks. Have a great day.